In life, one of the hardest but most liberating truths to accept is the reality that nobody truly cares, at least not in the way we wish they did. And this is not meant to sound bitter or cynical, but rather empowering. Because the sooner you realize that nobody is going to hand you success, nobody is going to lose sleep over your failures, and nobody is going to invest in your dream as much as you, the sooner you free yourself from the dangerous trap of waiting for validation, approval, or rescue. And instead, you begin to turn inward, to take responsibility for your growth, your effort, and your results. And that's where the magic of transformation begins, because when you stop expecting the world to feel sorry for you or to applaud you for every little attempt, you suddenly reclaim all your energy and focus it where it belongs, on your work, your habits, and your personal evolution. And this is exactly what Jim Rohn meant when he often said that success is something you attract by the person you become, because nobody out there is holding a key to your destiny but you. Nobody is going to save you from mediocrity but you, and nobody is obligated to support your hustle. And once you absorb this truth, you stop playing the victim and you start becoming the architect of your own life. And the foundation of this architecture is hard work, because in a world full of distractions, noise, and endless excuses, work becomes the greatest separator. It becomes the filter that reveals who is merely wishing for a better life and who is actually building one. And when you work hard, not for the applause, but for the internal satisfaction of knowing you are improving, you rise above the need for external approval. You stop asking, "Who noticed me?" And instead you ask, "Did I give my best today?" And that's when momentum builds, because consistency compounds, effort stacks, and focus sharpens. And the beauty of focus is that it blinds you to comparisons, it shields you from envy, and it keeps you rooted in your own lane, which is the only lane that matters. Because as Jim Rohn often reminded us, success is not about being better than someone else, but about being better than you were yesterday. And when you embrace that perspective, every day becomes a training ground where you sharpen your skills, discipline your mind, and strengthen your character. And little by little, day by day, your hard work begins to shape opportunities, open doors, and build credibility, while the people who once ignored you begin to notice. But by then, their care is irrelevant because you've already built your confidence from within, and that is the most powerful form of freedom. The idea that nobody cares might at first sound discouraging, but if you look deeper, it is one of the most empowering truths you can ever internalize, because it removes the burden of living for others and shifts the responsibility back to you. And here's the paradox. When you stop expecting people to care, when you stop begging for attention or sympathy, you actually earn genuine respect, because people admire results. They admire discipline. They admire resilience. But they will never admire excuses. And they will never applaud self-pity, because everyone is too busy fighting their own battles, worrying about their own struggles, and chasing their own ambitions. So why waste your life waiting for someone to validate your pain or crown your effort when you could instead invest that same energy into refining your craft, into learning more, doing more, and becoming more? And the moment you shift from, "Why don't they care about me?" to, "How can I care more about myself and my goals?" everything changes. Because self-responsibility is the birthplace of empowerment. And empowerment fuels action, and action leads to results, and results are the language the world cannot ignore. And this is why Jim Rohn emphasized personal development above all else, because he knew that the external world will always mirror the internal world, meaning if you build discipline inside, it will show in your work ethic outside. If you build clarity inside, it will show in your decisions outside. And if you build resilience inside, it will show in your persistence outside. And ultimately, that is how you rise from average to extraordinary. Not by demanding care from others, but by caring enough about yourself to pay the price of greatness through effort, patience, and relentless focus. When you decide to work hard and focus on you, you are essentially stepping into a contract with yourself, a sacred agreement that says, I will not let excuses define me. I will not let distractions derail me. I will not let other people's indifference discourage me. I will own my journey and I will pay my dues. And the more you honor this contract, the more unshakable your confidence becomes, because self-respect is built every time you keep a promise to yourself. And this is something nobody can give you or take from you. It is earned in the dark when no one is watching, in the mornings when you'd rather sleep, in the evenings when you'd rather quit, in the repetitions that bore others but build masters. And that is the grind that shapes legends, because while the world is waiting for applause or shortcuts, you are stacking hours of discipline, and those hours compound into expertise, and that expertise creates opportunities that people call luck. But you know it was never luck. It was sweat. It was tears. It was the choice to ignore who cared and who didn't, and instead to care enough about yourself to put in the work. This is why motivation alone is not enough, because motivation fades when nobody cheers you on, but discipline survives even when nobody notices, and focus keeps you moving even when results are delayed. And hard work sustains you even when you feel invisible, because you understand that visibility is not the goal, progress is, growth is, mastery is. And ironically, when you stop working for visibility and instead work for mastery, visibility comes anyway, because the world cannot ignore excellence forever. But here's the thing, you no longer crave their care, because you've built a life fueled by purpose, not applause. And that is the truest form of success. So remember, nobody cares if you procrastinate. Nobody cares if you quit. Nobody cares if you blame circumstances. But also, nobody cares if you wake up early. Nobody cares if you grind in silence. Nobody cares if you choose discipline. And that's the beauty of it. It means it's all on you. It means you have the freedom to shape your story, to create your destiny, to mold your character, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. And when you look back years from now, you won't thank the crowd for caring. You'll thank yourself for caring enough about your own life to put in the work, to stay focused, and to never give up. Because in the end, the only person who truly needed to care all along was you.